Okay, well this is a VTM of, well it's going to be a bunch of animations, but right now it's just going to be setting up bones, really, on the weapon. These are going to be for V models here if you're using the Half-Life engine. Otherwise, if you're not, this is first person stuff. Well, let's see. This right here is the rig that I'm going to be using. You know, I don't know why I pulled it out right now, because I shouldn't be using it. But thought I'd show you that it's an IK rig, very fancy. By fancy I mean crap, and it's easy to set up, and maybe I'll make a VTM one day for that. But not right now. So this is what we're going to be dealing with, and as you can tell, the smoothing is jacked in the face, and I'm going to fix that right now, because I hate it when things don't go my way when I'm doing this. Well, you know what? What? Well, yeah, that's good enough. Let's do this. Alright, a little background, fancy background information that's not pertinent at all to what's going to be happening. I spent a total of $7 on a fancy new little voice headset. God knows why. Somebody had asked me to do this a long time ago, and being the very prudent person that I am, I waited a couple of months to do it, and I actually went out and bought a new thing to do it with. So I'm hoping this doesn't totally go to waste. Somebody better find some use for these things, because I know that there's a lot of stuff that I'd rather be doing right now. Well, that's a lie. Okay, why don't we save this? I like to save these things as reffing. What we're going to be doing here is we're going to be selecting all these editable meshes, and we're going to be breaking them up and detaching. We're going to be attaching vertices and faces and all those dandy things to make the bones for the actual weapon that's going to be moving during the animation. So if you take a look at these, and I haven't looked at these prior to doing this, and I probably should have, you know, you can tell a few things that you need. You're going to need a magazine, a trigger, a bolt right here. Oh my god, this modeler's... You know, you'll rarely encounter this, but sometimes, maybe because of the grace in their heart, modelers just love to be helpful. So helpful that they actually break things up in a position that would be useful to someone like you or I. What we're going to be doing, you select which editable mesh you want to edit. Go down to vertices right here. You see this? Click on that vertex. There you go. You're right on fire. You're ready to move. Select the vertices of this. Obviously you can tell, maybe you can't. It's a magazine, or a clip, for those of you who are like me. And my roommate's across the room from me right now. Do you know how odd it is to do a VTM with a roommate who's standing in the room with you? You don't. Alright. And once you've got everything selected that you want, for example, as you can see here, and you might want to just move it a bit just to make sure you've got everything you need. That right there, I see I've selected the magazine release here with it, and that's not good. We're going to deselect that by double-clicking on each individual vertice. I'm sure there's a faster way to do it, and I'm too lazy to learn it, and that's why I'm not going to do it. There, we've got the magazine there. Now what you're going to need to do is scroll down here on this, select detach, and whatever you name this is going to be your bone. Basically, if you name this magazine, here's what you should be doing. Oh, I got an idea. Let's make the realism people mad. It's a clip. Alright, and then basically what you've got right now, look at this now. That is your own editable mesh. As you can see right here. There, you've got it. That's the magazine bone. And you can see the bone is actually over here. And we'll begin to fix that crap later. But right now, let's just keep detaching everything we need to detach. Now, right there's the magazine release. Really, it is. Remember, you go down to detach, which I just passed, and instead of calling it mag release, I'm going to call it clip button. That'll really get them mad. Alright, you've got those. Now check this out. Over here is obviously the trigger. It's a goofy shape, but this weapon here, I think it's a concept weapon. I was told it's not real. The guy made it up. That's good. Sounds good to me. Well, if you don't know what I'm doing here, if you hold down the Alt button, and then if you've got a middle mouse button and drag it around, you can zoom around things. It's really, really helpful. And if you don't have either of those things, you go down this little yellow thing here, and then he can move it that way. But being the encouraging and sterling teacher that I am, I'd encourage you to use Alt. Alright, now let's just try this trigger. But instead of trigger, we're going to call it the kill switch. We're going to make this gun and every single animation and beneath it as believable as Dan Rather. Alright, let's get this bolt. See, the bolt is the thing that goes back this way. I don't know. Is that what it does? It does. When you shoot the weapon, the shells eject from the bolt. Or something like that. We're not going to call it the bolt. We're going to call it the cover. Okay. Now, let's use our brains here for just a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, folks, what else could we possibly bone in this thing? We've got the trigger. We've got the magazine. We've got the trigger. We've got the magazine release. You know what? I don't even think that's a magazine release. I can't see this. Hold on now. What is that? I thought it was a mag release. What the crap is that? It's nothing. Okay. It's absolutely nothing. It's a nothing. That's what it is. It's seems to be ruining some of that stuff there. I've got a better idea. Let me show you how to fix this. For example, I've just detached something that didn't need to be detached. Due to no fault of my own. Right. We're going to put this back on. All you got to do is select the editable mesh that you want to attach it to. Go down to the attach button. It couldn't get any simpler than this. Those of you in California schools should also be able to follow this. Click attach. Click what you want. There you are. And by the grace of God, it is done. Now this, and I hadn't thought about this before, but I had assumed that there weren't going to be goofy bipeds on this thing. But there are. So I'm not sure if I should bone them and make them jiggle around when you do things, or if I should just delete them off. They're going to be a nuisance. Oops. Okay, well let's just delete them off. Sure the guy won't mind. If he does, too bad. If you hold on Control when you're selecting stuff, it'll select more stuff for you. Control C